Hey everyone, this is Dan. I'm going to break down one of my matches. This one is from the IBJJF Chicago Open from last summer. So I'm the guy on top, the other guy just pulled guard. First thing I want to do, I just want to run through the whole match. It's only about, I think it's around 2 minutes. And I just want to give you an overview of what everything looks like. And then from there, it'll make a little more sense. We can go back and then get a little more detailed on some of the positions. So just general comments here. You can see how the left leg, he keeps circling that inside. It's by my hip. And I'm constantly trying to get that foot away. And so it's a little bit of a battle for position there. Really what it's a battle for that inside control. And that's kind of the big theme of this video. So again, he keeps pummeling that leg in. There was a quick leg drag attempt, didn't work. And he stands back up. Sits guard again. Punch and underhook with the right, and then you can see that head position. Working the knee slice, and again, we're gonna go a little more in depth on this in a second here, but looking to keep him flat. Able to free my leg. And then the ref gives 3 points for the guard pass. From here, he's going to be attempting to recover guard, turning in, hip escaping away. And there I punch an overhook with my right arm, grip the bicep, and I've got a Darce locked in. And you can see he's got the leg there, but even with the leg, I'm still in pretty good position to finish it. He lets the leg go, and there's the tap. Okay, so let's take it back a little bit. So here's the guard pull right in the beginning. And again, as you can see, let me find a good still of it. You can see, here you go, you can see how he's using this left leg. So this, I would call this the outside leg. And he's using this to control the inside space. It's right by my hip here. His near side leg, his right leg here, is playing a reverse De La Riva guard. And so what I'm looking to do is I want to work one of my favorite passes, which is the knee slice. So you can see I already have my right knee in the middle here. But the problem is I can't do the pass if he's able to keep his leg here. So think of the leg, it's basically framing me out. It's preventing me from going chest on chest and getting in a position where I can threaten with the knee slice. So I'm going to keep trying to push it out, and then he just keeps bringing it in. And you know, that's the battle that's going on in the beginning here. It's really just a battle for that inside control. So he brings the leg in again. Punch it away. It's in again. I get it out of there. And you can see right there, it's a pretty weak attempt, but it's a leg drag, and the idea there is if he overcompensates with his outside foot and brings it a little bit too far, I can actually drag it towards me and start going around towards my right side for guard pass. So again, it's just a push, but you can see there's tons of space here, and so it's not going to work. He just inverts, technical stand up, and we're back on the feet. So he sits guard again. And so this the pass is going to come pretty shortly here. I want you to watch my right arm, because that's going to be the arm that gets the underhook here. So as you can see, just real quick, I've got my right leg in the middle. So that's the knee that I'm going to want to cut across. But it's also important because by keeping a leg in the middle here, a knee in the middle, it's going to make it difficult for him to close up a closed guard, which is a place you generally do not want to end up, especially in a tournament, especially in no-gi. Closed guard can be tough to deal with. So that's kind of why, that's one of the reasons why my knee stays in the middle there. So we're here. So right there, you can see it. So let me get my pen. So as you can see, wonderful circle there. I've got a underhook with my right arm, which is very important. That's generally it's generally a necessary thing, I think, especially in no-gi. In the gi, you can do this pass with a variety of different grips, but I think in no-gi, that underhook is pretty important. But what's also very important, I don't think it's talked about as much, is what I would call that inside control, that inside space. So what I'm doing is, you can see the underhook with the right arm, but my right hip is staying relatively tight to my arm here. And what I want to do is I want to keep his outside leg, I want to prevent it from coming on the inside. If he's able to sneak his left knee, or as you saw earlier, he had that left foot on my hip here, that's going to shut me down. So what you need to do, it's a simultaneous thing. I need to punch that underhook, and I need to keep, I need to stay tight with that right hip. You can also see I've got a post with my left hand here. If you guys ever watch Leandro Lo, that's something that I've studied a lot of his film, and something that he does a lot is he'll punch that underhook, and as he's punching it, he keeps his balance with that post. So it's just the hand on the mat. And also what he does really well is closing that space immediately. So you want to get chest on chest, and you want to really get that hip tight and prevent this outside leg from bothering you. So another important aspect here is the head position. So let's go forward a little bit here, so you guys can see right here. So we call this the head pin, and this does a couple things. Number one, it's basically a crossface, but I don't have to use an arm to do it. I can use my own head, and it's preventing him from looking in. So what that does is, if he's able to turn to his side and look towards me, he's able to mobilize his hips pretty effectively. But when you keep that head locked and you prevent it from turning in, it makes it a lot more difficult for him to turn in. It's also just going to generally keep his back relatively flat, which is also something we want. And I think a really important thing too is that it gets rid of all the space here for him to frame out my head. If he's able to frame my head, he can usually create a little bit of space, and a lot of times recover guard from there. So I'm keeping my head really tight to him and preventing him from being able to possibly sneak that left arm in as a frame. And you can see how he's bothering me with his right arm here. I'm going to address that. You grab the wrist. And I'm not sure if I do it in this clip, but usually what you want as well is, you want, in Nogi especially, you want to control that tricep here. So I'm on the wrist right now, but the tricep's a little bit better. I can pull on the tricep, and that's also going to help keep him flat. It's also going to get rid of, it's going to make it harder for him to frame me out with that hand. So you can see there a little bit, I come to that tricep control. You can see that I'm pulling there as I maintain my underhook in my head pin position. And that little kick here frees my foot. Now, really important here, one other thing as well. As soon as I clear my legs, I don't immediately go to like a classic side control position. I want to keep my head right where it was. I want to keep pulling up on that tricep, and I want to keep my underhook. And it's going to be really, those are 3 points of control that are really effective at stabilizing a guard pass, because it's going to keep them flat. And as you can see, the ref just gave 3 for the guard pass. And now I've kind of given up my head position a little bit, and the finish is going to be coming up here. We don't have a great angle to go into the details on that as much, but one thing I'm looking for, and I really like comboing this with the knee slice, is the Darce Choke. So I'm going to relinquish my underhook, and it's kind of a bait. The guy's going to generally look maybe for his own underhook, or he's at least going to create some space between, it would be his left elbow and the side of his body. And as soon as he creates space there, it gives me the opportunity to punch and overhook and look to lock up a Darce Choke. So let's see if we can see that here. So he's trying to hip escape away and turn in. Right there, I punch it. You can see I punch. It's what we call an overhook, and I'm gripping my own bicep. And my hand is going to try to find its lat here. And you can see he's got my leg. It's not a huge concern. He comes on top. He comes down, and there's the tap. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think about this style of video. And that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching.